All right, so today in class we looked at some lima bean seeds. So tonight for homework we're going to be reviewing the parts of a seed and taking some notes. Now these notes are very important and these are vocabulary words you probably have not heard before. So do what you need to do in order to memorize them. Make flashcards, all right, make a Quizlet online, whatever you need to do so that you understand each of these terms. All right, so here's tonight's homework page. The directions are at the top, a link to the video, and then of course the notes that you need to complete and a final summary question. So let's get started. We are on 1.2 parts of a seed. Here we go. Here are the three main parts of a seed in a diagram that you need to label. All right, so you're going to click the diagram, say edit, and then change the question marks to these three terms. The first is the embryo. That's this portion right here. The embryo is the baby plant growing inside the seed. Then you have your seed coat on the outside, that white layer we saw, and then this inside portion called a cotyledon. So let's go ahead and look at what each of these parts does for the seed. The first part is the seed coat. All right, that's that tough, almost airtight outer layer to the seed. That was that white covering on our lima bean or this brown covering on this seed. All right, different seeds have all different kinds of shapes, size, colors of seed coats, but they all have the same job. Their job is to protect the seed. All right, dirt, not a safe place to be. Places you can get eaten by birds, bugs, other things, that the seed coat protects the seed until it's ready to grow. All right, then we have our cotyledon, which is that inside portion of the seed. For our lima beans, we had two large ear-white parts of a seed that were the cotyledons. All right, those cotyledons are the food storage of the seed. That is where the food is stored. Up here we have some peanuts. All right, the cotyledon is that part that you like to eat the most. And then here are the cotyledons on our lima beans. All right, cotyledons hold the food. There are two main types of plants. You have your monocots and your dicots. And the easiest way to tell them apart is to take a look at their seeds. So monocots are plants that have one cotyledon. Mono meaning one. Monocots have one cotyledon. That would be corn. Here is an example of corn. You can't split a corn kernel in half. There is only one part of it. There is only one cotyledon. Here's a corn seed growing. It doesn't split in half. It simply grows straight out of the corn. Then you have your dicots, the other type of plant. Dicots are plants with seeds that have two cotyledons. So that would be our lima beans and our radish seeds. So as the plant grows, it will actually split that seed in half, split the cotyledons in two, and grow from there. So there it goes splitting, and you can see the two cotyledons there on the plant. Okay, now the cotyledon just stores the food. The actual food inside the seed is called endosperm. Okay, so go ahead and laugh about it now. It's called endosperm. The starchy material that makes up the cotyledon. All right, so that's the good starchy part of the corn kernel that you like to eat, or that part of the peanut that you like to eat. And if you like lima beans, the part of the lima bean that you like to eat. It's that starchy goodness, and the plant eats that as well. So the endosperm is the food stored within the two halves of the cotyledon, or in corn, the one cotyledon. All right, the embryo is the actual growing baby plant. So here's an embryo right here. So you can see the little leaves, the little stem, and the little root. We saw it in our lima beans today. Okay, you have your stem and root and those tiny, tiny leaves. Hopefully yours didn't break off your lima bean. So those are those tiny leaves, stems, and root. That's the embryo. Embryo meaning baby. All right, germination. All right, is the process of the plant actually beginning to grow. Is that seed starting from being dormant, from being sleeping, and actually growing into a plant. Germination is the starting growth of a plant. All right, it happens when the seed is in the perfect condition, when it's dark, when it's damp, and when it's the perfect temperature. And temperature varies for different kinds of plants. Some plants like it cold, some plants like it hot, but the perfect temperature must be reached before the seed will start to germinate. All right, here's a germinating lima bean and a germinating piece of corn. All right, dicots, monocots. Okay, that appears to be the end of our notes for today. So if you go back to your notes page, make sure you've taken all of these definitions down and that you're answering this final question. Have a great evening, and I'll see you in class tomorrow for our next lab.